So today, I'm going to show you how and why I put 1,200 Christmas lights on my 2009 Nissan GTR. There's a lot of people on social media that I will say got me intrigued to actually do this. And one of the things that I was actually quite interested with was how the Christmas lights was going to react based upon, me driving, going out, how it was going to do, and the altering weather that I live in, such as snow, sand, highway distance, and the city as well too, as well as high winds, the higher elevation that I'm in as well too, which means the radiation of the sun, and just overall how the tape will do as well too in that instance. But one of the things that I was interested with exercising was the idea of wanting to put Christmas lights on my car, 1,200 in particular, and see basically how it would last up here. I've taken really good care of this car over the years, and I've had it for 3 years so far, so the paint has actually been really, really nice since then. So without further ado, let's get down to it. So I basically used about 300 lights per, so I've got actually 4 of them attached. I've got one for the front, one for the side, one for the other side, and one for the back as well too. Now what I did was I was interested in trying to figure out how people would do the wiring, and I figured out that it was actually quite easy. So what I did was, let's open it up. I hooked up an inverter. The inverter that I got standard was from Home Depot. It's one with a fan, so this one's actually relatively quiet as well too, with a wall outlet and a hookup and then a power strip. So if I wanted to, which I'm going to turn all the lights on right now, turns on my screen, which is just auxiliary, and then here are my lights. So I have the auxiliary on just right now. And then this is basically what all the lights look like. This right here took me about 14 hours to do the entire car. And this is just with 12 lights. The video is probably going to pan lights on and off, so that's no problem here. But it actually came out relatively pretty nice. Now, I still need to do the roof. There's some other things that I've missed as well too. I'm going to put a Christmas tree on the top roof rack as well too. That's with the help of sea suckers as well too. But from how it is so far, it turns heads. And that's what the back end looks like as well too. You can skip this part. I'm just going to do a little bit more, but I have I think the taillights and the headlights kind of actually make it look a little bit better as well too. So that's how it looks like with one of the side angles. And then on my car, I've got RGB Thunderbolts. So that's what it looks like on the side angle right there. I mean, it looks pretty sick. So anyways, I'm gonna start getting into all the nitty-gritty and the fun stuff. So the recommended choice for tape that I've used is painter's tape. And why that is, I will say, is it leaves less residue than than some of your standard tape, like the like the masking tape. This one has been on my car for about a week and has really left, let's get a shine on there as well too. Come on, focus. This one doesn't leave any residue on it. There we go. I know it's left some right there, as you can see. But that's just me taking off the actual sticker itself. But there's a little bit of residue. Nothing like a little sponge bath, just to clean it all up and get it out of there. But I will say, the lights perfectly stay intact, so they don't move at all. And I've tested it about going 130 miles an hour, and the lights stay on really good. So I did painter's tape all the way in between all the lights as well too, actually close to the lights. That way there's little to no travel. But Yeah, there was no rubbing. It's starting to get a little bit dirty now just because I've had this on now for a week. But like I said, it's left no residue. There's been no rubbing. The lights stay perfectly intact when you're averagely going like maybe 70 miles an hour. So it stays where it's supposed to be at, and it doesn't move. So rest assured, if you have a nice car, probably nicer than this, I would probably say, just because I've done a lot of things on my Instagram, like some of those people who have, Lamborghinis and, nicer GTRs or McLarens or whatever, I would definitely think it would be okay to go full send on this. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and turn off the lights and see what it looks like without them. I mean, as soon as you get done with throwing all your lights on, like I said, this isn't really all much considering how much lights people have been putting on their cars, but this is just 1,200. So people have been putting an average of, I'd say, anywhere between 1,300 to 1,500, which I don't know if you need that much, but it will cover all the crevices and all that stuff as well too. But I don't know. For me, I think it looks pretty good. Okay. What kind of lights should you put on this? I would recommend the LEDs. They don't require a lot of power, which a lot of people do recommend and say go towards the LED route as well too. So they save the power as well too, and you can basically wrap as many Christmas lights as you want around this car. Just make sure to do your math and make sure that your battery, the connectivity, and the inverter that you're using is able to support all the lights for it as well too. Now comes the fun part. Sorry, Nissan problems. There we go. Is this legal? Absolutely not. But is it fun? Yes. And that's why people are doing it. One thing that I will recommend and say is I have the inverter on the inside as well too. So let's just go in here. If I ever basically need to turn off all the lights all at once, I've got a press of a button right here, and it'll shut off all of my lights. So if anything happens, or let's just say there's a cop that's basically like, hey, you need to shut those lights off right away, it's a click of a button, and I just go back to my regular car, which you can't really tell just because it's so dark. And with a click of a button, it automatically pops right on. And so there you have it. That's basically the fundamentals of how to put all of your Christmas lights on. There's really not a whole lot to it, but it is definitely time consuming. So I would recommend a garage, a nice warm place to do this, just because usually around the holidays it gets, relatively cold, especially where I live here in Flagstaff, Arizona. And I would definitely recommend help unless you're dedicated, want to crack open a couple of cold beers, and consume your entire next few days putting every single light strand on your vehicle. But like I said, the outcome is extremely rewarding. Definitely recommend it. This is one of those things where I hated doing this, but will I do it next year? Probably not. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, I look forward in the comment section below. And like always, hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Thanks, and we'll see you again soon.